what was your impression of the Haley rally when you got there? We were there a little early. It was very different from what we're used to.
I would say it was refreshing in some...
I would agree.
Like, just the logistics of a Trump rally are that you show up in a parking lot 6 hours before Donald Trump arrives, and there's thousands of people waiting to go inside. And so even functionally, we're talking to people in a parking lot who are in it to win it, and they're there for that rally. Approaching the Nikki Haley event, people are not waiting outside hours ahead of time. But the people who arrive a little bit before Nikki Haley arrives are politically curious folks. They're less guarded. There were some people who were diehard Nikki Haley people, small, few, but dedicated. But people were excited to hear what she had to say. And frankly, we don't talk to many people who are open-minded and have yet to decide what they believe. Usually we walk to a Trump rally and people aren't there to see what Trump is all about.
They're not going there to learn.
No.
That is for sure. And I don't mean like throughout their life. That might be the case, but certainly at a Trump rally, nobody's going there to learn anything.
Yeah, so originally I believe these rallies were set up for the American populace to get to know these candidates, to question them on their motives and their policies, and to form an opinion about them. The Trump rallies, that's not the case. You are there to rally rah-rah around this idea. The Nikki Haley people are like, I want to hear what she has to say. I have my own beliefs about this. I want to know if she is for me. And so that was, quite frankly, super refreshing. And it felt like a throwback with the little American flags and the buttons and the curious and the nervous people signing people up for mailing lists. It was like, oh, this is what the political world used to be like a decade ago.
Just 3 hours down the road, Donald Thanos Trump. And I say Thanos not because he's a Marvel villain, but because he's inevitable in that world. Unfortunately, yeah, he was having a rally, and it was very different. If you want to tell us about your initial impressions contrasted with the Haley rally.
Yet again, there's a ton of people there. We roll up, and there's a pin that's cordoned off with hundreds and hundreds of people who have been there. You know, this event. As always, this event, I think, was starting at 2. I think we're there at 8:30, and there's probably close to 1,000 people there. Now, I will also say there is no doubt that people are showing up for Trump rallies. The one thing I can't speak for is the overall breadth of support at a Trump rally, because the big picture that they got from this Trump rally was Trump showed up, people couldn't get in. They filled that venue quickly. And so there were 1,000 people outside that Trump pulled up before he went in, and he did a photo op outside with 1,000 people who couldn't get inside the rally, which is a good look, and it shows that he's a popular guy. And he is, let it be known, people are showing up for a Donald Trump event. I think there should be some more investigation as to whether these events are as big, and I think he's booking smaller venues than he has in the past. But regardless, there are photo ops to be had, and there are a bunch of people who will wait in a parking lot for 6 hours ready to talk, especially outside of Myrtle Beach. They were there to party, have a little bit of fun, and talk that MAGA talk.
Yeah, there were people on our flight down who were there for both reasons. It was Myrtle Beach drunk and Trump MAGA party.
Drink golf Trump. That's got to be on a T-shirt somewhere outside Myrtle Beach.
One other thing that we thought we would get material from, and we didn't, was talk about the Super Bowl. You want to tell us about what we were expecting? And
well, that's what, when we do these pieces, we often go down with a handful of topics that we want to address with people. And this is why it's so important to go out there, is because you sit in a New York studio, you watch cable news, you get online, you're on Twitter, you're on Telegram, you're hearing what conversations are, and then you go into the real world and see if they actually resonate. The conspiracy theory that's been online and also on Fox News is this vilification of Taylor Swift, to the point that perhaps she is a governmental plant, an agent for Biden. It goes in many, many different directions. And so we were prepping ideas of like, great, if we go to this MAGA rally, we want to talk and see that the Super Bowl was the next day. If you turned on Fox News, you hear them rolling their eyes at Taylor Swift and talking about her being overly political.
People are still furious at her involvement with the Chiefs and how that somehow helps liberal America. Like, they're still tweeting about it. But as we say, sometimes Twitter is not real life.
The internet is not a real place. And when we went to that MAGA rally, nobody gave a shit about Taylor Swift. The only people who did were a couple ladies who loved Taylor Swift. And we asked if she supported Biden, would they not be Taylor Swift fans? No, they love Taylor Swift.
No, there were two women under 25 years old. They're like, of course we love her.
Yes. I think that's an important reminder that, like, the internet is not a real place. Now, it can affect real things, and it is a tool to rile people up. And Fox News is going to talk about Taylor Swift because it gets clicks and it gets people angry. And your grandma might be angry in a basement down in Tampa, Florida, when she's watching this Taylor Swift person. And there's probably some people on Telegram who love to go down that conspiracy wormhole. But our little slice of folks at the MAGA rally were not affected or thinking about Taylor Swift and the Super Bowl in any constructive way. And I think that is a constant reminder to not look at the conversations on Twitter or Telegram or X as a reflection of the actual conversations people are having in Red America.
Would you go so far as to say maybe it was not a worthwhile use of time to write with you and me and some great writers on this show, like 40 Taylor Swift jokes?
We had a back pocket full of some really fun Taylor Swift jokes. Some premises about what Usher was going to be promoting, what environmental policies.
Weirdly, they didn't know Usher either. They had no opinions on Usher.